Thank you for all being here today. On behalf of MLSE, I'd like to take this time to introduce our new designated player, Alejandro Pozuelo.
Hello everybody. Sorry for my English, and thank you for coming. First, I want to say thank you to my wife, to my family, especially to my agent David Pirri and David Riva for the support in these difficult months. And second, I want to say thank you to Toronto, to the president, to the coach, and especially to Ali, because he worked a lot in this difficult month. This is why I'm here. So thank you everybody for coming, and I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you everyone for being here. I think that these moments should be about the player, should be about Alejandro. We're extremely excited that he's here. Personally, I'm really happy. I got to know Alejandro and his family a lot over the last 2-3 months. So I'm happy he's here because I know he belongs here. And this is going to be great for him and his family, and professionally, very excited as well. We know the quality that he has, and we're excited for him to be part of the team. So just very happy for Alejandro. Great moment for Toronto FC, and looking forward to great days to come.
Yes, thank you again for everybody that came here today. I want to say thank you to everybody that's here and our board for the support in trying to get Alejandro here. It's been quite a process. I think it's been well documented over the last couple of months, the process that's taken place. But from the support from Bill and the work of Ali and the patience of our team and everything that's gone on over the course of the month, and Alejandro's patience, we've stayed in touch through the course of this. So we've developed a relationship through text and through phone calls, and it's exciting to have him here. Today was really his first training session with the group, so it's nice to have him running around. And I think he's in the same position I am, which is we just look forward to the football now and to playing and getting all of this stuff behind us and getting on the field. But we're really, really excited to have Alejandro with us, and we look forward to all the great things that are ahead of us. This is a guy we've been watching since 2014, it said in the video, and someone we're looking forward to being a huge part of our success as we move forward together as a group. So thank you for your patience and the hard work you put together on your side as well. So thank you.
Open for questions.
Alejandro, why were you so anxious to come to Toronto of all the spots? I mean, they were interested in you, and you seem, from what we understood, really anxious to come here this season. What was it about the city or the club that made you want to come here?
I try to speak English. I speak with a lot of friends. They play here with Victor Vasquez, with Simon also. He played here, and they speak about Toronto and about the city, about the club. Very amazing. So I think this is the important thing for me, for my family also. So this is the why I'm here.
Alejandro, you described the process as difficult right away. Can you kind of shed some light on what made it such a difficult process from your end?
La pregunta es que hablaste de que era una situación muy complicada en los últimos meses, que si puedes explicar un poco qué fue lo que lo hizo tan complicado desde la parte de Bélgica.
Bueno, es difícil explicar. Yo creo que es algo que deberían de explicar pues el presidente o Ali. Creo que bueno, lo importante es que estoy aquí y eso es lo más importante. Hablar del pasado es algo que no me gusta.
So it's something that is difficult to explain from myself. So I think it's something that the president, Bill or Ali, should explain to you. I think the most important thing is I'm here right now, and I'm excited to be with the club. So I don't want to talk more about the past.
Bill? Can you kind of explain or shed some light on what made this such a difficult process?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has been chronicled by the media in this room very well. Alejandro was under contract with Genk, and he had a release clause, and there was some disagreement about when that release clause could be exercised. And so Ali lived in Belgium for about a month, came back and forth 3 times, but during this, it was really about 30 days, about a month's standpoint from the end of January to the end of February, that we worked closely with Alejandro and his agents and Genk, and Dimitri, their sporting director, and Peter Krunen, and eventually, at the end of the day, no one, I think, wanted to go to arbitration or legal, and we were able to get a deal done. But it took a long time. Obviously, he's a quality player, they didn't want him to go. We did not want to wait. This was very, very important, especially losing Victor and Sebastian in the off-season. We wanted someone of his talent and ability to join us sooner than later. So at the end of the day, we made the deal. It took a long time though, right? It was about 30 days. And so, appreciate, the player understanding, because it was frustrating for him and to wait so long. But we got it done at the end of the day. And I think it's been well chronicled. I thought the media did a great job explaining it.
No, I mean, it was a difficult, challenging process for all of us. And the one thing I didn't mention in our opening remarks is we're all here on the stage, but there's a lot of other people within the club that play a pivotal role in bringing Alejandro here. So it was truly a team effort, and we're just glad that we're here sitting here today.
Great. Greg, can you talk about how you see Alejandro fitting in with your club and how you're going to use him?
Yeah, he's Alejandro. As we see in the video, he's an attacking player first and foremost. We want to use him in that role. He'll probably play close to Josie and help us a lot in terms of our ability to set up attacks in the final action. I know I was asked this question recently. Setting up attacks for me is that final phase of the attack, not necessarily the beginning phase. But he's outstanding at understanding how to move around, manipulate numbers on the field, playing between lines, the vision for the final pass, his ability to spring some of our guys as runners, but also his ability to finish plays off in different ways. So again, for us, it's the engine through that final phase of our attack. Obviously, Michael is a big part of setting up the attack and the guys that we have behind, and Alejandro will be a big part of helping us to finish attacks in a positive way. So we're starting today's our first session, starting to work together with him on how that will look in the structure of our group. But he's loaded with talent today. I was already, just a little insight, Robin Fraser and I were watching training session, and we were trying to figure out if he was right-footed or left-footed, because it was so comfortable doing everything either way. Again, something we talked about, how two-footed he is. So he's we can see very comfortable coming off of the right side with his left foot or the left side with his right foot. It's interesting and nice to watch. It gives him a lot of versatility in doing things, and gives us as a team a lot of versatility as well. So looking forward to getting him involved and connected with Josie and the rest of the group.
For Alejandro, what was the difference between the offer from Al Ahly and Toronto for you? Why Toronto? Why not Al Ahly?
It's simple. I think the first in my life is my wife and my children. I think the best option for me and for my family is here, because the problems for the wives is there in Arabia. Also for the football, I think it's very different. I think the MLS he go up, and there is a lot of money, but it's no interest in the football. So this is my decision for come here.
Why would you leave Genk, where you were competing for the title, for Toronto? Can you explain?
Yes, I try to explain. It's simple. I think it's because in Genk I played 3.5 years. And I think it's enough, because everybody look to me, everybody, when we play to the other team, always they put one guy in behind me to play, so it's difficult to continue to play like this. So I think I need to change, because when you play a lot of years in one team, also for the mental, you need to change the club. So I think Toronto is the best option for me.
Bill, it's very clear that you guys wanted Alejandro very badly. Two players, international players that you brought in last year, Agar Keche, Gregory Vanderweel, no longer with the club. Can you kind of shed some light as to whether the vetting process has changed with regards to bringing in new players?
It's a very good question. What we learned last year is that how players fit into your existing locker room is extremely important. And so I told Alejandro that two references which really struck with us was Victor Vasquez and then Laurent Guyot, who some of you might not know was our academy director, who's a first-team coach in Belgium right now. And to get references like that from people who know us, who know our locker room, was really important, because coming off 2017, in some ways, we were challenged to get even better with CONCACAF, and so we had this desire to go get players who we thought could be better, but maybe didn't fit the locker room morale that group had. And for Alejandro, we really doubled down on understanding him as a person as well. I mean, Ali met individually with him in Belgium to look him in the eye and to really get a feel for who he was and what he was, and we didn't necessarily do that with Gregory and Agar. So, like anything, you kind of learn little things, and for us, Greg says it, this group right now is really together. And it's a feeling we haven't had. It in some ways goes back to early 2016 when this group kind of really came together. And so that was critical for us to go for a big acquisition, but to make sure that he fits in the locker room and understands that he's an important player, but he's part of the team. And when he met Ali, one of the first things Ali said is he wants to win. And that's what we're about. He wants to win every game and do it the right way.
And just to piggyback on what Bill mentioned, one of the first meetings I had with Alejandro is I asked him about kind of what he felt his strengths were as a player, and in a very humble way, he mentioned that he didn't want to get into the specifics of the strengths and weaknesses of his game, but he feels that his most valued attribute is the fact that he's there for the team. And I think that that's really important, because when you're really trying to build a cohesive team that can compete for championships, it's important that the strength of the team is the team, and no one is above the team. And with the way in which we interact with each other and treat each other and connect with each other within the dressing room, as well as from the players to the coaching staff to the rest of the staff to the fans to the front office, is important, especially if we're trying to be a single family here that's a part of Toronto FC.
Bill, you've looked to Spain 3 times now for midfield reinforcements, understanding that Alejandro and Edgar and Victor are 3 different players. But is there something about the Spanish midfield player profile in general that sort of appeals to you, that's you kind of continue to go after that?
No, and Greg can probably answer this better than I. We didn't necessarily look that Alejandro was Spanish, or even Victor for that matter, or Agar. It was the talents that we saw and how it would fit into our team. What we all knew when we lost Victor was we knew, and we even talked about this as we went forward in the future, we wanted someone who could pull the strings. And Alejandro is a guy that can pull the strings, and someone that can manage a game and make the special plays that create goals. Whether he was Spanish or not didn't really come into the thought process, just so happened to be. Look, he reminded us, one of the highest compliments you could ever get, Victor Vasquez gave him, is he said, Bill, he's a young Victor Vasquez. And that was about as good a compliment as you could get with us in our group.
For Alejandro, was there frustration at sort of how long this process took, and how relieved are you to be able to concentrate on your football going forward?
¿Hay alguna clase de frustración por todo el proceso que se demoró en concretar eso y siento cierto alivio ahorita de que ya estás aquí en el club?
Sí, sí que es verdad que bueno que pasamos un momento muy complicado, sobre todo como dije antes, mi familia, mi agente, los más cercanos a mí son los que me han apoyado y sobre todo, como dije bien, Ali, que ha estado todo el tiempo yendo y controlando la situación y finalmente pues aliviado, como él bien dice, de poder estar aquí, de ayudar al equipo y de empezar a entrenar y jugar cuanto antes.
Yeah, it was a very difficult moment for me, my family, my agents, but I always felt the support from Ali, and he controlled every single thing in the situation that we were going through. So I do feel like there's a relief now that I'm here, and I'm just looking forward to keep training and have my first game with TFC.
And again, for Ali, now that you can concentrate on the football, what do you sort of want for yourself, and what do you want for the team here in MLS?
First, when Ali comes, also I speak with the coach. I think he has the same philosophy like me. I want to have the ball, to play, to combination, and this is my football. So when I come here, I speak with the coach, and he explains everything. So I think we have the same philosophy to win and to play. So I think this is the best option for me.
Alejandro, what can you say? What do you know about the MLS, the style of play, the strength of the league? Have you sort of looked at a lot of games and that kind of thing?
Yes, because I like football, so I watching all league, and he play David Villa, a lot of Spanish play, Cristian Lobato, so a lot of Spanish play, and yes, of course I see the league, and I think this league in 2, 3 or 5 years I think they are the best league in the world, I think, because the people, the player want to come here, so I think in first years the league is very good.
Clearly, you know Victor Vasquez fairly well, and I guess roughly you could say you're coming to bring what he used to bring to this team. How do you compare yourself to him? Are you a different kind of player? I mean, I know people are attacking. What are your differences?
It's difficult to compare. He also played in the attack. I think he have also quality to turn, to combination shot, to good vista. So I think we are the same. He have a little bit more years than me, but the player is like me. I think he have good vista, good passing. He score goals. So I think we are the same.
Alejandro, you just finished one season in Belgium and now you're starting another in North America. Do you think you'll have to watch how many games you play because of the long season?
This is the question for the coach. I think I want to play everything. I already played 14 games, I think, but these 2 weeks I go to Sevilla with my family, with my friends, so I can rest my leg. So this is the question for the coach. I'm ready for play. Today my first training, but if he want, I can play Friday or when he want. I come for play, and this is my life to play.
Bill, you're getting at age 27, so it's still in the prime of his career. I'm just curious, is the expectation that Alejandro is going to be one of the pillars, cornerstone, whatever you want to call it, kind of, for the next length of his deal?
Absolutely. So, Alejandro will be, as we continue to grow over the next 3 or 4 years, he's going to be a focal point of that. And it's one of the things Greg, we obviously always talk with Greg, his vision with style of play, and it was to have a guy that can control possession, but also make the special plays. And soccer is a game. Many times it it's a special player to a game that win you games, and so we needed that. We had that in the past with Sebastian and Victor. We have it with Josie now, but he's going to be a player that is going to be very much a focal point, as a designated player should be, of this team for the next 3 or 4 years, for sure. 4 years at least, right?
Bill, following up on that, is there a release clause in this contract?
No.
Okay, that's it for questions. Thank you, everyone. We'll have a photo opportunity over the front here.